Hangzhou, the city is the capital of Zhejiang, might be in the headlines right now as the host of the G20 summit. But it's also an Asian city and a hot tourist destination in its own right. CCTV's own Shi Wenjing visited the city for a taste of the local culture.
Hangzhou is famous for many things when referring to Chinese traditional culture. Just to name a few, Hangzhou is the tea capital of China. It witnessed half of the Chinese ceramic history. Its seal engraving and silk weaving skills are recognized by the UNESCO and on the list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Let me add a bit more on the silk culture. The silk making sites were found in Hangzhou during the Neolithic era, and the robust industry made Hangzhou grow into one of the richest cities in the world, and the high level of silk making skills still extend till today. In recent years, we've seen the revival of silk culture in both modern and traditional ways. And it's worth noting that during this summit, some of the silk products and artwork that are all handmade by local craftsmen will be given to foreign guests as national presents. The magic of stitching. Jin Jiahong is keeping the Asian Chinese handicraft of silk embroidery alive. She learned how to embroider when she was a teenager and has been using the same tools for the past 35 years. She kept up with the practice even when the demand for embroidery work was low.
I still remember the good old days back in the 1980s when we had to work overtime to finish our clients' orders. The traditional embroidery industry was hit hard when more modern designs became popular. We lost our jobs when manual work was replaced by machines. I stayed home for 3 to 4 years. I didn't stop making embroidery work at the time because I enjoyed doing this, but many of my peers gave up and switched jobs.
Jin said the hard years gave her the opportunity to switch her role from a manual worker to a designer. Today, most of her work requires at least 6 months to complete. To pass on her skills, Jin Jiahong has taken on some new apprentices. She wants to help people find inner peace through handicraft work like silk embroidery. She hopes there will always be someone like her who will preserve this traditional skill both in good times and bad. Demand for the handmade embroidery is on the rise because of the increased popularity of silk around the world. China was the first country to use silk and has never stopped promoting this Asian material. Guess how light the silk is? Believe it or not, its thickness is only 0.052 millimeter. It is the lightest silk in the world. Xu Dinglong is the engineer who created it.
The difficult part of making the thinnest silk is getting the right string of thread. If you use high-speed machines, it is easy to break the thread. It took me 6 months to perfect this. I started from the very beginning of the process, from the silkworm, and make changes all the way up to the speed of the machines.
Guo Wenden and his team worked for 2 years to create a color transition system that creates near-perfect prints.
Before I created this system, we could only rely on the experience of colorists. It usually takes a long time to find a good colorist. Over the past 2 years, we did a number of tests to try to increase the accuracy of the color on the fabric. We have a similar color system in the printing industry, which is very different from printing on fabric.
With the help of Guo's color transition system, fabric designers can now print their original designs onto silk fabric with much less color loss. Chinese craftsmen and engineers are using both traditional skills and modern technology to develop the crafts of silk manufacturing. Their hard work helps bring China's culture of silk manufacturing to people around the globe. Shi Wenjing, CCTV, Hangzhou, Zhejiang Province.